Today we're going to talk about mastering self-control with food. Here's something that I hear a lot is that by the end of the day, you guys are so tired, you're so stressed, and you're so hungry that the snack cabinet is like where you spend the most time, going in and out of, looking for snacks, eating all the snacks. And then in our mind, that turns into, I have no control over chips or Oreos or chocolate or whatever. We feel out of control around these foods because we can't stop eating them. But there are always reasons why. It is not because you don't have self-control. It is not because you're addicted to the food. It's probably for one of these three reasons that I'm going to give you right now. First one, if you want to master self-control with food, you have to eat. Let that sink in. You have to eat. And I don't mean eating like a bird. I did a podcast about this a few weeks ago. You can't eat like spinach and cucumbers and carrots with like some plain chicken on a salad and like your light raspberry vinaigrette dressing and think that that's gonna keep you full and keep you satisfied. It's not going to. What you need to do is start looking at food as a way to really fuel your body. What can I add to this meal to build it out? What can I add to this meal to keep me more satisfied? And it's usually things like more protein and more fat and more fiber. We talk about that all the time, right? Protein, fat, and fiber. Every time you go to make a meal, ask yourself, where's the protein, where's the fat, where's the fiber? And if you don't know which foods fall into those categories, go to the link in my bio. I have a free download for you that spells it all out. So go grab that if you're kind of unclear, if you're on the right track with that stuff. But if we don't eat the appropriate amounts of protein, fat, and fiber, our blood sugar is doing this like up and down dance all day, which is exhausting for our body. It's exhausting for our brain. We run out of energy. And so what happens at the end of the day when we finally have time to sit down and just watch TV? Our hunger cues kick in. And our emotional hunger cues kick in because we're so tired and exhausted. And your brain and your body needs fuel, so it's going to cue you to go to the snack cabinet. It makes sense. I see it happen all the time. So if this is happening for you, you're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to make sure that you're fueling your body enough. The second part of this, where I see people snacking a lot, especially on like sweets and chips, is because they're trying to eat perfectly throughout the day. They're trying to eat totally clean, no processed foods, and I'm all for that. Like, I think as minimally processed as we can get, the better. It's just gonna help us feel better. That said, I have nothing wrong with, hold on, let me show you my snack cabinet. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see in it. Chips are everywhere. Candy is everywhere. There's a bunch of crap up there too. I have nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that stuff. But when we're trying to eat perfectly and keeping all of that stuff out of the house, out of our cabinets, what happens when we go and buy it? We eat all of it in one sitting, right? Or we eat all of it in one day. And so you need to, what I tell my clients, how we kind of phrase it, is you need to treat yourself throughout the day, at least once per day. So this is what it looks like. It can look like a couple squares of chocolate after a meal. That's one way it can look. It could look like a donut on Saturday morning with your family. It can look like a glass of wine at the end of the day. It can look like getting French fries when you're out to eat. You order like, I don't know, your salad with chicken, and then you order a side of fries just because you want them. Those are all little treat yourself moments that just help take that food off the pedestal and normalize it. So that when you do go to buy a bag of chips, it's like, well, these are gonna be here all week. They're gonna be here anytime I want, and once I run out, I can just go down to the store and get more. So I don't need to eat them all right now. I'm just gonna put some chips on the side of my sandwich and then move on with my life. But the more we restrict, I talk about this all the time, restriction is a guarantee that at some point, whether it's later that day, later that week, later that month, that you are going to rebound. Restriction leads to rebound 100% of the time. And so instead of telling yourself no, choose what's really worth it. What's something that I can like plug into my day that just gives me that nutritional like relief, or something to just remind me that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to only eat clean foods all the time or only eat fat loss friendly foods all the time. It's really, really important that you start incorporating those kinds of foods into your daily plan. okay? And then number 3 to master self-control with food is sleep. For the love of God, go to sleep. I don't care if you're just like, even if you're laying in bed for an hour waiting for your body to wind down and go to sleep, do that. Don't stay up watching TV while you scroll through Instagram and TikTok on your phone. I'm guilty of it too. But once we recognize that we're doing it, then we can do something about it, right? So if you're just laying in bed reading, or you're laying in bed and doing a meditation, or you're just like laying in bed with your partner talking about how the day went, that's so much better for like your body and for your nervous system than it is to keep that constant stimulation going of the TV and the lights and the iPad and the laptop and the phone. Like, shut that stuff down and go to sleep. And here's why. Again, we've talked about this before, but I'm going to repeat this stuff until I start seeing my people doing it. The reason why getting sleep is so important is because if we're walking around tired all the time, we're not going to want to make the best food choices, or we're not going to want to make the food choices that we really do want to make, because our body's always looking for that boost. It's always looking for a little pick-me-up. It's always looking for a quick source of energy so that it can get you through your day. And what does it tend to crave? Certainly not fruits and vegetables when we're run down and tired all the time, right? It's things like a bagel at the drive-thru, or a donut, or cookies, or snacking on chips. It's those kind of things that our body goes towards because it does give us that quick hit of energy. Another thing that people will do is they'll have coffee all day long, and then they sleep like crap, and they're like, why am I not reaching my goals? Because you can't keep putting that stuff into your body and expect it to do what you want it to do, right? So getting quality sleep is so, so important. And I talked about this, establishing a bedtime routine weeks ago. If you scroll through my IGTV videos, they're all there. Establishing a nighttime routine, just as important as establishing a morning routine. So make sure that you are incorporating something there that works for you. Okay, so those are the 3 things. If you want to start mastering self-control with food, those are the 3 things you need to be sure you're doing. You need to eat balanced meals throughout the day, protein, fat, and fiber. You need to treat yourself every single day, something to just take the edge off of those cravings, take food off that pedestal and just normalize it so that you stop overeating it. And then number 3 is get some sleep and rest. And shut this stuff off. Now you're done watching this at 6 o'clock, go eat some dinner and go to bed. Okay, that's your assignment for today. All right, guys, if you have any questions about this stuff, let me know, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.